This is something I've noticed. Blonde is chuggy, more curly pixies. Side parts. The death of the curly girl method. Monet is a pyramid scheme, and it's time we talk about it. Oh honey, it's 2023 and we need to get predicting because the year ahead of us, from what I can see, is going to be very interesting. Also a little bit scary, but it will be hairy. And I mean that positively. Now I've got quite a few different predictions for the year. I've broken them up into categories. We're gonna go over hairstyle trends from cuts to colors, product trends, hair care routine trends, and industry trends. Now if you're wondering what my credentials are, I have a pretty good track record from previous years. My predictions tend to come true. Maybe it's because I have influence over them, maybe because I'm psychic.
You know I have the answers written in my cards. Maybe not that one, but these ones are all good.
As both a hairstylist and a YouTube creator, been doing this for 5 years now in 2023. Holy! I have to say, I have a good idea of what's coming. And so just before we get into my predictions, let's quickly recap the past couple of years. In 2021, I predicted that we were gonna see more curlies emerging. I mean, that was as a result of 2020. Everyone was home, no one did their hair. They realized they had curly hair and they started embarking on a whole new journey. So it was the year of more curlies, a rate which has been increasing. Now with that, because curly hair can be very overwhelming, we talked about the wave towards basic styling, simple routines, 5 steps including shampoo, conditioner, the essentials. This is all still very relevant. Now we also predicted more focus on scalp care, treating the scalp like the skin that it is, and little did I know that was only the beginning. More and more brands every month are coming out with a scalp care line, and I love it, but also I'll share more about that in a minute. Finally, in 2021, we predicted responsible packaging and sustainable products. And if you take a look at the shelves, we're seeing more and more aluminum-packed products. We're seeing Eva NYC, AG, JVN Hair, lots more to come, I am sure. But then again, I was pretty sure about these 2022 trends, and this is what we got right. First and foremost, I predicted we would see more fragrance-free products. I didn't see too many new launches of fragrance-free products. Maybe I was just foreshadowing, you know, not intentionally. I knew that I was launching a product later that year that was made fragrance-free, as in there's no perfume added to the product, and that is the Verb Curl Foaming Gel that I had a very integral role of developing last year. It was a very cool project. To me, over the past couple of years, trying to find fragrance-free products has been very important, and so we're gonna hope that we'll continue to find that going forward. So it wasn't completely untrue, but not completely correct. I had also predicted that we would see more peptide products, more bond builders, because I mean, bond builders have been popping up like nothing, and there has been a few, but I was expecting to see more peptides. Peptides, very simply, are made up of long chains of amino acids. These are the building blocks of proteins, which our hair is made up of. So these are good to strengthen and help repair the hair. And while we haven't seen too many yet, I think that we will see more peptide products. Okay, so it wasn't a wrong prediction, but we did predict drastic hair changes. Copper and bangs. You can't tell me that there were any more trendy haircuts besides, don't even say the butterfly haircut. It's just a reworked freaking unicorn haircut, which is fine. We can talk about the actual differences between the different DIY haircuts very soon. But you cannot deny that copper has come. We also saw a lot of bob haircuts. A lot of people were doing my universe haircut tutorial, and a lot of people were just trying to get rid of the memories of the previous 2 years. And then bangs, specifically curtain bangs. We saw a ton of this. It went with a lot of the trending haircuts because one of the popular styles people were doing last year was the 70s blowout. So they wanted the big voluminous face frame, and it looks stunning. I did think we were gonna see more DIY hair color in the forms of direct dyes, but I think that the companies will release more products this year, especially with everyone coloring their hair copper. We did a full video on them a little while back, and I think brands are gonna start picking up the slack. Besides that, I predicted to see more curly hair extensions. Now, I think I forgot about this because I didn't actually buy more extensions, but browsing on Amazon, there are so many more options for curly hair clip-in extensions now. So I'm gonna say this came true because last year there was only very few that had extension companies that were selling to curly hair, and they are like hundreds of dollars, a lot of money for clip-in extensions, and now they're on Amazon and they look good. And as for my final trend forecast, last year I had said we're gonna see a lot more wedding hair, curly hair for brides. And well, we shared quite a few different tutorials. We have our very own curly hair bride getting married this November. So mark your calendars and stay tuned because that's gonna be more of what we're gonna see on the channel. But let's move on to what we're gonna see in general, shall we? This is 2023. We're not looking in the past. This is what I see. I wanted to write things down. I forgot I was gonna do that. I wanna do that. This is gonna look really unsettling to people because the T in styles, is that even how you spell it? It looks so wrong. I accidentally wrote that one lowercase, but everything else is uppercase. It's unsettling. It's unsettling. Boy. First up, we're gonna talk about style trends because there's always someone in the comments that is like, Mel, I literally have an appointment tomorrow. If so, this is for you. If you didn't cut it all off last year, it's only a matter of time, and time is now. I think we're gonna see a lot of short hair this year. Hair can hold a lot of memories and energy, and if it's gotten long and it's probably damaged, there is no time like the present to chop it all off. And I look forward to seeing more curly pixies. Now, it would be irresponsible of me to say that without disclaiming to you the hard facts, as in short hair is a lot to manage. You know, it takes more salon visits, more daily restyling. It's, you know, it's not low maintenance necessarily. So only you know if you're ready. But I think short hair is stunning and I look forward to seeing it. And if it's not short hair, I even think longer hairstyles are gonna graduate more towards eyes up here. But I think it's gonna be yay high. There is something about this meaty length, which I swear before diffusing today I was at, but the bounce today is ridiculous. Anyways, this mid-length, it just looks good on everybody. Honestly, this is a timeless style that looks great, both straightened and curly, which I think is how a lot of people are going to be styling this year. We're gonna get to that, okay? But finally, side parts. Honeys, my millennial queens, Gen X and listen Gen Z, we are here for the off-center parting. Reality is it adds great balance to an asymmetrical face. But most importantly, I think people are tired of wearing their hair down the middle all the time. Styling your hair in one part every single day is not good for that part. You're putting a lot of tension in one area because I know you're also doing those slick back buns and those slick back hairstyles. If you're doing that all the time, you will be parting the Red Sea. And so take it from me, you are better off exploring a little extra distance off the center. And it's just a great way that you can switch up your hair without necessarily switching up the style or the color. I'm not going to say blonde is chuggy, as some others had said. That's not the fact. It's the fact that everyone looks amazing with their natural color. When I say everyone, I do mean most people. Most people look best with the color that grows out of their head. And we are seeing celebrity after celebrity, because you know they're the ones that start the trends, not me. We are seeing them go back to their natural roots. And if they have highlights and dimension, it's almost this tone-on-tone color that you can't really see. It's undetectable. It just looks like natural dimension in the hair to give some movement, to give a little shimmer, but we're not seeing those pops, those streaks necessarily anymore. I don't feel like those are going to be very trendy this year. And this is great because this is going to make your hair a lot healthier. It's going to require a lot less visits to the hair salon. And if I just continue to speak for myself, although sometimes we miss the blonde, I did used to have very blonde hair if you are new here. There's something about this shine, this naturalness that I'm really vibing with. Take that information as you will. And if you shall, get yourself a root melt and tone that all down. I think that's everything. Oh, as for the copper hair trend, I don't think it's gonna stick around for too much longer. I could be wrong on that, but I think when things are too trendy, like literally everyone, and it looks, listen, it looks amazing on everyone, I love to see it, but when literally everyone has now dyed their hair copper, it does just seem like a trend, and you know, maybe this is actually just gonna be the year of the end of trends. Unfortunately, and I say this with deep regret, I think the ash is gonna come back. I think blue hair will actually have a moment because it's opposite to copper, and not necessarily like blue hair, but also like that blue black and cool tones. I'm afraid those might come back because the people that went copper are gonna have regrets and they're gonna want to go back to cool, but maybe not. Knock on wood, because I love the warmth that copper and just golden, chocolatey, rich, warm colors give to people. Give it to the people. Now let's see what product trends I think brands are gonna give to the people. What types and for whomst? I had fun writing that. Don't make fun of my writing. It changes with every letter. I've been journaling this year, so hopefully by the end of 2023, my handwriting will be much prettier. That didn't rhyme, and that's a crime. I'm actually excited. And I'm talking to specifically those that have been following me. Listen, we're ahead of this trend, okay? Detox and clarifying shampoos. I think we are gonna see a lot more this year. We had some of the biggest brands in hair care launch some last year. I'm talking about Olaplex and K18 once again. They both released detox clarifying shampoos, and solely based on the fact that those two brands are so education focused, I think they opened the eyes of a lot of people onto why it's so important to clarify. And with that, I do think we'll see a lot of people marketing detox shampoos. Detox it's just like a marketing term. You can't actually detox your hair or your skin. If a brand is specifically telling you that you need to detox and remove, ingredients that we know are healthy and fine for the hair, like silicones, parabens, and sulfates, then just be wary of those. But look to brands that specialize in hair care, specialize in the health of hair. On that note, hair oiling, hair oils. Hair oiling is part of the routine that, again, coming up next. But I think because now people are starting to take a lot more care for their hair, and we look back at what has worked for thousands of years, specifically based in Ayurveda, I think there's going to be a lot more brands coming out with hair oils. Honestly, I have so many hair oils, and I think it's all becoming a little bit excessive. I think it's becoming very confusing because it's like, which one do I use for what? And so we'll have to talk about that in a future video. I predict we're going to see a lot more products come out, not marketing towards curly hair, straight hair, coily hair, but marketing towards your hair type. Even on Allure's best of products from 2022, which we reviewed in last week's video, even their list was differentiating for fine hair, for thick hair. Because the reality is, hair care doesn't come down to your curl shape. It doesn't come down to your curl pattern. The right products for you are determined by your hair's texture, as in if it's fine, medium, or coarse, and your hair's porosity. That's how you want to determine what products to use on your hair. Stop hyper-focusing on your curl pattern. It's irrelevant news. On the topic of scalp care, which of course we've seen a rise in fact, searches for the term scalp treatment for dry hair are up 70% on Pinterest. But I do want to warn you about that. If it's a hair styling brand, it's not that they can't do research and development. Sure they can, but I would advise when you're looking for scalp care to look for brands that really focus on hair care, and maybe they're even a skincare brand. We saw both the Ordinary and the Inkey List skincare brands come out with hair care and scalp care, and hopefully we'll see more skincare brands kind of dive into the hair care realm, not necessarily for the ends. But what I'm saying is shop for brands based on their specialties. Okay, and let's talk about how we're going to use them. How we actually do our hair in 2023, I think is going to look a little bit differently. So this is our hair care and routine trends that I am predicting. So we just talked about hair oiling and scalp care. Even just recently, the Mell Rosemary Mint Scalp Oil was a winner of the Naturally Curly 2021 Best of Products, and I reviewed a long time ago. Since then, it's continued to gain a ton of popularity, and a lot of people are running with the soft evidence that rosemary has shown some progress in the hair growth region. Okay, it's very invigorating. I think a lot of people are kind of holding on to that, and so that's gone completely viral, sold out, cleared the shelves. Congratulations. That is exciting. And I'm glad that more people are incorporating hair oiling into their routines, especially on their scalps. But there's almost always a but. Don't leave it on too much, okay? We'll talk more about that in a future video. This is something I've noticed, and it's time we talk about it. People are bringing back the creamy crack, as in hair relaxer. Relax. I've seen a few videos pop up on my YouTube recommendations of people doing relaxers at home. Does it hurt me? I want everyone to love what naturally grows out of their head, and reality is, it's not that people don't, but I think a lot of people have been hit with the realization that this is not for me. And that's completely valid. With any hairstyle you choose, you have to think about the lifestyle that you live. And the reality is, tight coily hair and curly hair, even wavy hair, can all be difficult to manage if you don't necessarily have the time for it, the care for it. Maybe you just want that wake up and go. And I think people are going to continue exploring relaxing their hair, which is okay because nowadays there's a lot better technology to make sure that our hair stays healthy. Yes, these treatments are damaging, but they don't have to be detrimental. And so when done correctly, you can still have really beautiful, healthy hair that is relaxed. And that's a fact. In general, I think people's hair is just a lot more healthy nowadays. I think it's going to continue to be healthy if we don't color it as much this year in the salon. But with that, okay, yes, there may be less chemical damage. I think we're gonna see more mechanical damage. What? Mechanical. Mel, come on, Nicole, damage. When I say mechanical damage, I mean there's gonna be a lot of styling. I think for people to switch up their look, even for me, you know, if they're not coloring it and they're not doing any crazy haircuts, I think people are just gonna have more fun with styles. Twisting their hair this way and snatching it back this way. Also smoothing it out this way with a blow dryer, a flat iron. I think people are just gonna be more open to styling their hair different ways. But even so, the more you do to your hair, the more you touch it, the more you work it, the more manipulation, the more mechanical damage. And so this or that, tit for tat, you can still do a number to your hair when you are styling any other way. That's okay, because we can care for them. The last two things for this category, I think since now many of us are seasoned curlies, okay, we've been there, done that, we've almost mastered our curl routines. We're gonna do more intentional styling. What I mean by this is I think people are going to know what style they want. Like let's say they specifically want elongated curls, or they specifically want a really voluminous hairstyle with a lot of shrinkage. We're not just going balls to the wall, slap on, slap off, wishing for the best. We're actually gonna make a plan. So when I say intentional styling, it's saying, I want my hair to look like this. I'm gonna use these products to achieve it and use this styling method because it's gonna save you time and it's gonna save you money. Now, if you aren't sure how you can intentionally be styling, then get out of detention and make sure you're subscribed to me because we're gonna share a lot of different ways that you can style your hair, a lot of different types of routines. I already have tons on this channel. Again, I've been here for 5 years. Birthday party coming soon. But in other news, we have to talk about the recession that we are in. It's scary times. Just over the holidays, I saw so many of my mutuals really struggling over the holiday season to fill their books, which in salon is just unheard of. Not as many people have a lot of disposable income to spend on their hair care and their self-care, so they're gonna have to do it themselves. 2023 is more DIY for you from me, okay? Different haircuts, even DIY hair color, which we're gonna have to do a lot of education behind that. And I think people are gonna also explore DIY home remedies, but I just wanna warn you to be careful because if you're not a hair chemist, things can start growing and that's just not healthy. So be careful with the at-home hair care remedies. Remember, food belongs on the inside of your body for it to help the outside. I've never been a fan of mixing raw ingredients in your kitchen to put onto your hair. It's not necessary, but I think we might see a lot of that this year. As a community, I think we're going to see the death of the curly girl method. Please? Can I say please? And finally, no, this is something that has been happening. Pretty much every curly hair enthusiast creator that you have been following has come out with a video on why they no longer follow the curly girl method. There is a method to the madness. The shit was too strict. It wasn't based on anything in science, and some of the core practices perpetuated such damage that was almost irreversible. So with that, I think the next industry trend that we're going to see with the death of the curly girl method is no more co-washing. If one more co-wash comes out this year, honestly, the brand, it's their fault. It's their fault for being behind. Obviously, we like shampooing now. We know that we need to detox our hair. There is almost no need for a co-wash in your routine. Sometimes it's a nice to have. I will use one on a very, very blue moon. Not even. I almost always feel worse after co-washing my hair because I feel dirty. Co-washing will do nothing it should for your scalp, and so they're gone. This one, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one, but it needs to be said. Incoming, I've noticed a lot more link in bio, take my hair quiz, Monet girlies. I don't know if there are more market partners that have joined the Monet brand or they've just entered the TikTok realm, but at the end of the day, Monet is a pyramid scheme. The products, they're not great. Listen, you do you, but don't try DMing me on why I should start selling. Please. Thank you. I'm okay. I'm good. Finally, I think we're gonna see more science. We want science-backed hair care, but that's gonna bring in a lot of science washing, and a lot of brands like Monet and many other brands will use a lot of language that sounds scientific, but what is it based off of? Let's always check our resources. And when I'm bringing you the facts, you can bet that I'll always share resources, references in the description box. Final notes and remarks though, I would like to continue seeing, this is an ongoing thing that, you know, it should be really the standard, more inclusivity. And we're not just talking about race, yes, but I also want to see more age, more gender diversity. Hair care is not specifically gendered. A lot of the times I try to catch myself from saying curly girls to just curlies because you could be anybody and you could be of any age, any race. I want to see everybody. I want brands to include everybody in their marketing. That should be the bare minimum, including being cruelty free. And going forward on this channel, you are not going to see me use any products that aren't cruelty free. In the past, I've made exceptions because I wanted to review things, and I'm really going to try to stick to my word of not. I don't want to give my space to any products and brands that are cruelty, because it's cruel. And that's all I'll be saying. I'm not done. When am I ever actually done? Very soon. Amanda, start rolling the music. But more accessibility coming this year. We need more drugstore curly hair routines. I want to share that with you, of course. So more accessibility from me, okay? And on that note, I think it's time for our Q&A. This is a question from our last video, and Ashley asked, when looking for a new hairstylist, what are some questions I can ask to know if they are a good fit? What are some red flags and green flags? A red flag is if your stylist does not ask enough questions during your consultation. Consultation is a conversation where I would be asking you pretty much everything I need to know about your hair, including your lifestyle, your routine, what maintenance you're looking for. So green flag if they ask a lot of questions, and it's a bonus if they have a portfolio on Instagram or elsewhere of their work showing that they can work with your hair. That doesn't mean that you don't give a beginner stylist or even a student a chance. I myself was a student once, and people gave me a chance mostly because I had curly hair. They said, if you've got curls, I trust you with mine because you know the struggle, and so that's always a benefit. Maybe go to a stylist who has hair that looks like yours as well. And the second part to Ashley's question was, how do I avoid wasting time and money with someone that is just going to recommend things for sales instead of the health of my hair? You gotta trust your gut. Part of a stylist's job is to recommend you with proper hair care to maintain the hair that they gave you. But if something's not sitting right, your hair doesn't look good leaving the salon with those products, and you're already content with your routine, then you can just politely disregard their recommendations and just take their services and go. And if you can, if you're in North America, it's the standard, tip your service providers. If you possibly want to hear your question answered at the end of a video, then make sure to comment in the comment section below whatever question you have. Thank you so much for coming to my trend predictions. This has been, I don't even know how long we've been talking here, but I'm happy that you are here and thriving in 2023 and that you're here. The fact that you're subscribed to me just makes me so happy because I am here on this channel each and every Texture Thursday to bring you new tips and tricks, because at the end of the day, at the end of the year, at the end of your hair, the ends of your hair, trim regularly, I am here for you. I am your main girl Mel. I'm excited for the year that we have ahead. Take this list as a forecast for what you can expect to see from me, and let me know in the comment section below what you need to see immediately, okay? If there's a specific video request you have, you never know. It might just be our next video. Until then, I'm out. Peace! Let me just situate this curl out of my face. Actually, if you can gaze into the future, this is what Melly's predicting in 2023. I was raised by that queen. That was my hair wrap. Raven also had the best hairstyle. We're gonna have issues. We're gonna have issues today, aren't we? You know, I can have a good hair day, but there's always gonna be that one hair out of place, that one strand that drives me crazy. If I don't move my head, hopefully that will stay. Why are you even here to listen to me? Well, I can tell you a few things. We're gonna be here for approximately 365 days, except for it's now the 10th, so 355 days. And by the time you're watching this, 353 days. Isn't that crazy? That hits the spot. It's only low caffeine, so we're gonna try to work through this. We're gonna pop. I don't know why we're popping. Why are we popping anything? Okay, we're gonna talk. My friend said you have to be a certain type of person to be able to speak to just a camera. She's not wrong. I mean, I look at the camera, and my camera, it almost looks like a little robot. You know the Pixar eye? Like the... Well, it's like the lamp. That's what my camera looks like. I do need a new device. Well, I'm not gonna talk about that, but he's like a little guy, you know? Ah! How long have I been talking? We fucking killed it, bitch. Yeah, we did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray. You know, I'm loving the energy. You know, my camera's gonna die.